Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Queersome Podcast. I'm Kayla.
I'm Wormy, and today we're talking with Audrey from Nourish Society.
My wife.
Hello, hello.
Yeah. So we've talked about this previous podcast and just decided to kind of show you guys a little bit into her new world, her new business that just started at the beginning of this year. Tell us a little bit about yourself, what brought you into Nourish Society, kind of where, you've been and where you are now.
Okay, yeah, I can tell you a little bit about what I do and how I ended up where I'm at. So a couple years ago, I started my own health journey with fitness. I started working out with a personal trainer, spent a lot of time committed to that, and instantly fell in love with it. And during that process, I kind of learned some things that I didn't realize were being taken away from me in my life. And one of those was balance. So that's how I came into Nourish Society. Once I stepped back and looked at my time in the industry and how much I loved what I was doing, I realized how much was taken away from me. And in that process, I started to really kind of focus on what I wanted. So I took a leap. I chose myself and bet on myself.
That's kind of cool. Yeah. We're all for taking
It's
that
the
leap.
best.
It's the scariest thing you'll fucking do, but also the most rewarding.
Yes, honey, and look at you now.
And look at her now. Like,
She's shining as bright as a star.
yeah. Where did the name come from?
So I chose the name Nourish Society. Nourish felt immediately right to me because it's more than just feeding yourself. It's about growth and sustenance and what makes you feel right. And then society goes with it perfectly because it's about community. So I wanted to link people together who wanted to have the same value about choosing what they're intentionally fueling themselves with and putting a lot of care into what they're putting into their body.
Audge, I love that.
I love the name.
Yeah, I love everything. Honestly, the first time I looked at your website, I cried.
That's so funny.
I did. It was just so
I'm a day one
good.
client.
Yes, honey.
A1 day one.
Audrey feeds me every week, y'all. And I'm telling you what, it's the best thing I ever did.
Yeah. Well, and it's just the fact of not having, it's so hard, especially for us.
Yeah, it's been life-changing for behind the chair.
We don't work a 9 to 5 type of job, but when we get home, the last thing we want to do is think about cooking or even just think. Honestly, all we've done is think all day. So having something like that that's good, nourishing, fulfilling, it's different every week, it's catered to you, I know it's helped you. I know it's helped everyone else as well.
Yeah, it's helped literally everyone that I've ever talked to that does Nourish Society is it has literally made my life, my quality of life better.
It just gives you so much more time back to not have to spend 2 hours cooking or running and getting somewhere and we were talking about this when she first opened, you'll spend $20 at lunch on DoorDash.
Easy.
Why not do that by a chef prepared meal? It's fresh. It's literally brought to your doorstep. So
it's a no-brainer, really.
It's a no-brainer.
And I honestly I spent, I would say the first 3 weeks when you started, I would get in my car and I would go, oh my God, it's 7:30. I'm starving. I'm hungry. I don't want to even think about what I want to eat for dinner. I don't want to eat fast food right now, but I also don't want to go home and cook. And then it would click in my brain that you had already done all of that for me.
It's already
and
done.
It was so crazy how that took this weird food noise problem away from me that I really
decision fatigue behind it.
Yeah.
I don't mean to cut you off, but
cut me off, honey. This is
no,
your time.
I think what you're talking about is really impactful and a huge part of what my mission is. So when I sit down and I talk one-to-one with clients, I love food to my core, and I have been in a relationship with food for as long as I can remember. and is the most joyous experience for me. Yeah. I love sourcing ingredients. I love eating food. I love preparing food. I love preparing myself to prepare food. So to know that that translates for you and it's bringing some joy back to you. You know, I talk to so many professionals and people are like, I'm exhausted. I don't want to do this. I have allergies. I'm tired of eating the same thing all the time. Cooking is a really hard experience for me. And honestly, my response is always the same. That breaks my heart because food is it's just so many things. It encompasses like just a wide, diverse, you know, range. It's very political, it's emotional, it's joyous, you know, it's what you need to survive. So to be able to kind of rebuild that relationship with food, with people is a really cool experience. You know, I love that side of it. And, you know, when I think back to the first question you asked me and leaving the industry, I think that's also a huge part of it, is being connected with people in the community side of it. You know, you both have been through so many versions of myself with me, and to be able to kind of bring that to the forefront and expose myself in a way that's like, hey, we got to do this together. It takes a village. You know, it's really cool.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think especially when we're all so busy.
Yeah. And like in today's world, everything is, you know, really convenient. So that doesn't mean necessarily that we have to sacrifice sustenance or, you know, just the act of eating something you look forward to. And I think, you know, there are so many options like DoorDash, like you were talking about, and things like that, you know, are really hitting the wallet. And there's a world where I have a skill set that my gift was given was food and connecting people with food, where I can offer whole ingredients and chef prepared food at an affordable price to people, and really help them rebuild that relationship.
Yeah. Walk through like what it is to be a Nourish Society client.
Okay, well, cool.
What were the steps?
So to be a Nourish Society client, you can email me or you can text me, call me, find me on social media. Nourish Society Lex is my Instagram. My email is info@nourishsocietylex.com. From there, I would love to connect with you. We could talk about your goals, what you are wanting to gain out of this program. Then you'll fill out an intake form, and meals are delivered to you on Tuesdays. I send a menu a week in advance, so it's fully custom to you. I believe that not everyone has the same palate. That's why I don't do a set menu. So I create anything from 4 dishes a week to literally 20 different dishes a week.
Yeah, that is so mind-blowing. Like,
it's really cool.
Watch you doing it is so cool. Because, like, me and Kayla and Audrey have been friends for a decade.
A long time.
Like, best friends, actually.
Lord, we went through so many jobs.
I have seen
so
her
much
cook
shit.
so many things over the years. So it's, like, very special to see her, like,
Cook for herself.
Have time for herself, but also, like, she really is connecting with so many people. And, like, I think I could be wrong, but I think for a long time it was harder to connect with people because you're always in the kitchen. So now you're like getting kind of the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Anniversary, that's perfect.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think like you growing up around so much food was like, I mean, it's always, regardless of our 10-year friendship or your all's your relationship.
That
I think
truly is how she has showed her love.
Yeah.
And like that's how her mom does. Her mama like by feeding people. Like think about how many times she's just been like, come over. I'm cooking dinner. Like, don't bring anything. I want to, like, that is how.
Heavy on the don't bring anything.
Yeah,
because Audrey wants to give you the full experience.
And so, yeah, it's cool to see that. It's also cool to, like, see, for me, like, I see the behind the scenes of Nourish Society. So I see, we've got a huge ass whiteboard in her office.
And it is a lot of work.
It is like
it is a lot
just making
of
sure
work.
that everybody's happy, making sure that, like she was saying, like not everybody has the same menu, not everybody has the same palate, like not, you've got diet restrictions, you've got people wanting to gain weight, you've got people, looking to try to lose a little, you've got people that have a little bit more diet restrictions and allergies, like all of that can play into that. Like, you've got vegans, vegetarian, like there's so much to that. And when you take the fact of like not having to worry about cooking all of that or making sure it's there, or just buying fucking frozen shit and just heating it up because it's fast and convenient, which is what most of us do when we get off of work. Like, we can throw it in the oven. She has reheating. I mean, she does everything, explained to every detail that you could possibly have, so it takes that away from you.
There is no confusion. Like,
No.
I literally go home at night. Well, actually, I ate the balsamic strawberry chicken today for lunch. But like when I go home and I'm eating it for dinner, I have this little magnet clip that I always put my reheat instructions on, and I just open it up, and it's like Christmas morning, baby. Yep. It's a Christmas tree, and the presents under the box. I'm just like, and I'm like, okay, which one am I gonna go for today? And that reheat sheet is so crazy to the T. Yeah. Like, if you, like, obviously, there have been times when I'm like, oh, yeah, I think I know how to reheat this. And then, obviously, it's great. But then I'll look back and I'll think, oh, gosh, that wasn't what I was supposed to do. So now I really follow it to, like, an exact T. And it is, like, crazy.
Spot on.
It'll say, like, 6 to 8 minutes at this temp, and I swear 6 to 8 minutes at that temp is exactly what it needed. It's just the attention to detail is insane. Like, I just can't tell you enough, like,
and then the peace of mind.
Wonderful. Yeah. Like, how perfect everything is.
Absolutely.
Well, that's great to hear. I appreciate that feedback. You know, like I said, I really hinge on Eat with Intention and Stealth Health. So when I look at Eat with Intention, they're designed so that everything is in there purposefully. So there's nothing by accident. There's no eyeballing. And it's removing a lot of the work of, like, you know, people talk a lot about macros and those numbers. And it's like, I don't understand how much rice I'm supposed to eat, or, you know, protein and that kind of thing. So, you know, with those details like that, it's giving you what you deserve. So I truly, at my core, believe that everyone deserves to eat right. And eating right means eating for yourself. So that is what, you know, Eating with Intention is exactly designed for. And then the stealth health side of it, you know, I have a lot of clients that are like, I really don't like these vegetables, or I don't like these proteins, but I haven't had them in like 10 years.
Yeah.
And, you know, I always have the conversation with them of, are you open to that? Do you want to try that? Okay. And, you know, I have clients that, is, you know, fish is something that is kind of polarizing. People either love it or they hate it. And I have a client that's like, I've never tried it because I'm scared. So with that approach, I, you know, design a menu where I'm like, okay, they're open to this. They want to try it. How do I give them an experience that's rewarding for them? Yeah. And we go back and forth with that. And, you know, it's something, it's really cool to re-invite that kind of dining for guests. Yeah. So that's kind of the stealth health side. That side too of like, diet food is not what I do. I do whole real ingredients. And you know, if
you're not lacking. You're not starving. You're not.
It never feels like something that is a diet food, by the way.
But it also doesn't feel so heavy. Like, you know, you go out to eat and you feel like so at the end of it because you overate, or it's too greasy or whatever. Like, you never get any of that.
No.
With Nourish Society.
It's so flavorful and so good. And there have been moments when I thought, you know, sometimes you think I've always been, Gran always says my eyes are bigger than my belly. Yeah. And there's been more than one time when I've been like, and I do this with anywhere I go. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, after this, I'm going to be so hungry. And honey, I'm force feeding the last like 4 or 5 bites to myself because it's like the macros and like, it's just, it's designed so well.
And like, being really able to like, I know with you try really hard to like, what's in season? Like, what's
for sure.
What's fresh?
Those pickled jalapenos.
Exactly.
Did you make those?
The sweet heat, they're pretty good.
I need a jar of those, and I'll give you $100.
That's forever changing because, you know, you're keeping track of what's in season and what's fresh. Versus just trying to like freeze something and send it over. And it's not that most meal prepping is bad, but it is mainly frozen and it's
when you
sent
get
to you. Exactly. So, you know, it's really no different than a frozen meal. It just may be a little more thought out versus like she makes this on Monday, it gets delivered to your door on Tuesday.
Yeah, you know, fresh. I have a really cool opportunity to work with really cool people who are very connected to what they do. And that truly in and of itself is an incredible gift. It's not something I take lightly. You know, when I talk about cooking, I refer to it as my practice. So, you know, really, I'm the one that's performing, but I'm given all these gifts that make my job so much easier, where I'm getting these like locally sourced products and these people who are excited to work with me and they want to be connected. And yeah, I just can't even begin to articulate like how much gratitude I have for that. That is like one of the coolest like opportunities of my job. And you know, you were talking about my mom earlier and my grandmother talking about cooking, and I have spent a lot of the majority like of the 10 to 12 years I've been doing this with a hyper focus on Southern food. And I love Southern style food. I do. I grew up on fried chicken. My grandmother had a bucket of lard in the kitchen.
Lard. Yeah.
We ate soup beans all the time, like a continuous pot of soup beans that just had more water and it was constantly brewing, and collard greens and just these really rich foods growing up. And, you know, what I offer is a health and wellness forward style of dining. And I often get, how do you do that? How do you connect those two things? And I think, you know, Southern food is a campaign of, you know, abundance, and it is whole, rich foods, and it is really resistant and, you know, something that just is always going to push forward. So when I think about that, I think about my grandfather's garden, and I think about picking wild blackberries, and I think about how easily that translates into what I do now.
Yeah.
And that's like another thing that I just have a lot of gratitude for. And it's really cool to kind of connect those things. Like I have menus now that have roasted pork tenderloin and sweet potatoes and collard greens.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's really cool to be able to kind of blend those worlds together. Yeah, you know, like I did grow up where food was like the primary communication device in my home. You know, like we didn't always get along growing up, and it was always quiet when we sat down at the table because everyone was ready to eat together.
And even as community, like food is the one thing, you know, like someone dies, we make them something. Someone has a baby, we make them a food, you know, we have a meal train, you know, like someone goes through surgery, we, you know, just went through this. Like, it's a great way of like just showing love. And even when you don't have a lot of money or you don't have a lot of resources, like you can always throw together something. And I think too, for me, I know like my love language is time. So it's the time that it takes of cooking as well, of like you took the time to make this, even if it's something simple, you know, like you took the time and you spread it and you can taste the love.
Yeah, always made with love.
Always made with love.
Always.
Yeah.
I'm an acts of service girly, so they go hand in hand.
They do go hand in hand.
They
They do. Yeah, I joke around a lot behind the chair, just, you know, I've got my own personal chef, but you too can have it now.
For real. I don't want to hear anyone saying, I wish I had a personal chef
and
again.
I've heard it for the past 10 plus years. Now
here
you can.
she is.
I gave it to you. Message her.
Y'all are wild.
Honey.
I don't condone bullying. Only reach out if you feel comfortable.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Let's do it.
Listen, it'll help you. You know, you'll have more time to yourself, your family, watching some Bravo.
Yes, and there's no like weird
get on the
loophole of
charter.
like a subscription.
Not a contract.
Like just give yourself a little break if you want.
Yeah, I am really flexible with my plans. You know, I really like at the end of the day want to help people love food the way I love food, and I want to be connected in that way. I think something that's like important for me and I would like to talk about is like what a spiritual experience food is for me.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds like kind of maybe crunchy or woo-woo, but you know, when I step into the kitchen every time before I start my day, and I usually start cooking in the kitchen anywhere from 2:30 to 4 a.m. That's what I prefer. I like early mornings. I like to be done around 10 or 11. You know, I always take a moment to acknowledge the space I'm in and acknowledge the state of mind that I'm in. And, you know, even down to like what I'm listening to, my utensils, what shape they're in, my knives, making sure they're sharp. And when I cook for something, the entire time I cook it, I just think about how I hope and try to send the energy that this food will help whoever's consuming it. And it gives them what they need. And, you know, it is an extension of myself. It is absolutely like what I love to do. It's very personal to me. So with that being said, you know, when you open that container, it is made for you, and it truthfully is made with love and the intention that I'm going to pour what I can into this. You know, I've worked in all kinds of kitchens with all people who are experiencing all walks of life. So I've worked with teenagers, I've worked with a lot of immigrants, I've worked with generations of families in the same kitchen. And at the end of the day, I've always said how you carry yourself in the kitchen. And if you know you're coming in and you're mad or you're upset or you're experiencing something, that if you don't take time to kind of process that before you start cooking, your food's not going to be as good.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's even how we are even behind the chair. Like, you know, like coming
Sometimes
in with a bad mood makes it a bad appointment sometimes.
Leave it at the door.
Yeah,
Leave
you
it at
know.
the door.
So like I'm given a really cool opportunity, and that's never lost on me. I keep saying that, but you know, I am just really grateful for the experience. I love working in restaurants. It was a huge part of my life, and I think there are versions of myself that might be judgmental of who I am now, where I have shifted values and priorities of what's really important to me. But being able to have the chance to, you know, choose myself and choose to uplift others. You know, I've worked in spaces where I've sent plates that are $300 for one plate, and that's a really cool thing to do. But at the end of the day, what's really important to me is making sure that everyone has a fair chance and a fair opportunity to be connected to whole foods, to themselves, and knowing that someone cares for them. So I say all that to say that every time I cook is an act of care or an act of service, like you were talking about. It's like, it really is just part of who I am and what I love. So knowing that, you know, when I'm in the kitchen, it is personal and it is meant to fuel you, but also to show how much you're cared for.
Absolutely.
You know?
And that we should care for ourselves.
Yeah, it is. I think for me, I try to remove the hard part. Yeah. So all you have to do is choose yourself, show up for yourself, open the container, eat it. Yeah. And the other side of that too is knowing that you're working with me who loves food and loves you and wants you to be happy. So if you're having an experience where you're not loving it or you're eating something that's not feeling right for you, that's going to be custom tailored to you.
Yeah.
So we're going to work back and forth, and I'm going to make sure I get it right for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I know you.
It's good. It's
do.
communication.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is very fluid for me in that way. You know, I have clients that are like, I think I just want to try vegetarian meals for 1 week, and that's totally doable.
Yeah.
And I also believe and practice wholeheartedly in everything that I do that, you know, some of us can't consume certain foods like dairy, gluten.
Yeah.
We can't have soy. We have severe allergies. And I've been in restaurants and I've worked with people who are like, no, we're not accommodating that. That's not what we do. It's off menu. Or they really significantly upcharge it. I don't do that. I have never done that. I will never do that.
Yeah.
Gluten-free, dairy-free, any kind of allergy you have, I'm going to work with you and I'm not going to break your bank over it.
Even aversions. I know with me, like, I have a lot of food aversions. And I just cannot cross the line on some things, like, and your clients that have some of that, like, you're never like judgmental and being like,
never
get the fuck over this. You know what I mean?
Oh no, I would never say that. I think there's maybe a version of myself at like 19 or 20, you know, fresh out of culinary school, where it's like, you know, I know better than you, and like the truth and reality is like, I don't. It's your body. Like, let me help you.
for sure.
And it's
And
like,
let me make it easier on you, because maybe that will open the door for other things, you know?
I mean, there were years that I was a pescatarian, and Audrey was like, okay, you're a pescatarian. It wasn't like,
you know, it is a really cool thing to kind of see how people eat and how they learn their bodies and speak a language, you know, that maybe they only understand, and learn to translate it like an art. You know, I have this one client that I work with, and I have learned so much from her, and it is just so inspiring and so cool. Like, I love that kind of, like, I feel like challenges kind of has, like, a negative connotation, so I don't really, like, want to use that in that light, but more of a, like, this is an awesome chance to be with someone who, like, trusts me to make their life easier and, you know, learn along the way, and, you know, them sharing and being so vulnerable, and in a way of like, you know, food is really intimate. The way you eat your food is like just so interesting.
And we all have a different relationship with it.
We all have a very different
relationship. I mean, that's from childhood and on up, how our moms raised us, how they were. Like, we all have a different relationship with food. That doesn't mean it's bad. You know, it doesn't mean yours is horrible and mine is horrible. Like, it just means it's different.
Yeah, there's no one
time.
like stencil or one way to consume food. And I think, that's something that kind of sets Nourish Society apart a little bit, is that I'm going to meet you where you're at.
Yep.
And I'm going to make this the best that I can.
For sure.
And I'm also going to be really honest with you. So if I don't feel like I can meet your need, I'm not going to be weird about it. I'm going to connect you with someone who I believe can.
Yeah.
There are a lot of great companies in Lexington that, offer these types of services. And for me, that's a part of Nourish Society. That is the name. Is like, we are a society. We are a community. And the communal goal is to make sure people are fed and they're happy.
Yeah.
It's cool to be collaborative versus competitive. That's a huge reason too why I left the industry I was in, is the competitive nature of it and the burnout that comes with it. So for me, it didn't hit all at one time. It was kind of like how I would describe as a slow leak.
Yeah.
I felt like I was hitting these cycles of burnout, and I would dig myself out a little bit, and I would go right back to the grind.
Yeah.
And, there is just such a culture where it's like, this is the vision, this is what we do, this is how we carry ourselves, like, this is what it is.
Yeah.
And, it is long nights, long days, a lot of steps. And, I had realized so much I was pouring into someone else's vision before, taking that chance on myself and offering a vision that meets people where they're at.
Yeah. And
instead of, always like looking at the numbers and things like that, which are incredibly important.
Yeah.
But, being able to be connected and do something like really purposeful.
Yeah. And that's how Nourish Society was born.
Yeah, that's how she came about.
That's the vision.
Our new little baby.
Yeah. It's cool.
Audra, is there anything else you would like for people to know about you before we wrap up?
There's not a lot other than I'm really grateful for the both of you all. Yeah, you all have been with me from the very beginning, and
ride or die, bitch.
Ups and downs and ebbs and flows. Wormy, you've been through a lot with me, and Kayla too. So, I wouldn't be where I'm at without the two of them.
And same for us.
Same for us. We're a family.
We are.
Takes a village.
Trifecta.
Takes a village, and we have, our little small fam has proven that. All right, so tell us your info again.
Okay, yeah, you can find me at Nourish Society Lex, that's Lex on the end, on Instagram, and you can find me at Nourish Society on Facebook. My email is info@NourishSocietyLex, and you can also find me at Lucy Brown Coffee Bar on April 9th, starting at 7 p.m. I am the pop-up guest for Lex Lez Night Prom. I'm providing a photo booth and a backdrop, similar to what our girls here did if you attended last year. Yes. So I would love to connect with you, just hang out. We can talk about food, or we can talk about anything you want.
Yeah. Come check us out at Lez Night.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be really cool.
It'll be so fun. And then make sure you follow us on all of our socials, and I'll put all of Audrey's information in the bottom of this video.
And like we always say,
call us if you need us.